This is Jamey with Stonemaier Games, and today I'm going to talk about how to involve retailers in your Kickstarter campaign. Some of the reasons why you might want to involve retailers in your campaign is A, you keep them happy. Retailers traditionally haven't liked Kickstarter campaigns because they take business away from the games that they could sell in their stores. So if you involve them in your campaign, they might be happier, more willing to work with you in the future. Two, the more retailers involved, the more backers involved, really, the more funding that you'll have for your project, and the better, hopefully through stretch goals, you can actually make your product. And last, the more people involved in your project, the more buzz you can build. Retailers, this is one of the reasons that retailers actually like Kickstarter campaigns, because they bring a lot of attention to a game in a short amount of time. I'm going to go over a lot of stuff real quick here. If you want more information, check out my Kickstarter Lessons blog. First thing is, contact retailers about a week or before the Kickstarter campaign begins, or a few days into the campaign. Just let them know the project exists. Two, I recommend using two different methods for letting retailers pledge to your campaign. One is to offer a pledge level that offers the number of games that can fit into a carton, unless they're really small games, and then you might just want to say 5 games, 3 games, 5 games. But usually between 4 and 6 games will fit into a carton if they're bigger games, like the ones you see on my shelf back there. And so you could have a reward level for that number of games, but it's essentially a group reward level. Anyone can pledge to it. Then have a separate note somewhere on the project page that says, if you're a retailer and you want to pledge for 10 copies of the game at a special retailer price, which would be slightly below the Kickstarter price, contact me directly. Use that instead of having a pledge level for that 10 unit reward. One guideline I give to retailers if they choose to opt into that 10 reward level, especially since they're getting a discounted price, is that they don't undercut you, the creator, during the campaign itself. So if you have a reward that's $50 on the campaign for most backers and you offer it to retailers for $37, say, you tell those retailers, you're free to sell it. Even during the campaign, you can bring in backers through your store at whatever price you want, but you can't go lower than $50 during the campaign, because otherwise they're undercutting you, backers that could be going directly to you. But in general, that's still a good thing if retailers are bringing in more backers. If a retailer ends up pledging for 10 copies because they brought in 10 customers to get the game through them, that's also a good thing. I typically only accept retailer pledges during the campaign. I found that retailers often try to add 1 more copy, or 3 more copies, or 4 more copies, on and on for like weeks and months after the campaign, which can be okay if that's part of your strategy. Some creators allow for long-term late pledges. I usually limit it because I need to start printing the games right after the campaign ends, and I need to know how many to make, exactly how many to make. Let's see. Oh, and one last thing. Retailers sometimes struggle with cash flow. So one thing that you can offer to retailers is they can pledge to your campaign now for the price that you give to retailers, or they can pay the amount that they owe you at a higher price. So they have to pay essentially a small penalty for paying late, much closer to when you ship the game to them. I found that not too many retailers will accept this option, but the ones who do really appreciate it, because maybe they're having cash flow problems right now. And so giving them that late option with an early commitment, they still have to commit during the campaign, but they can actually pay later, can often help them. I have found that a few of them just won't pay at all, but then if they don't pay, you don't send them the game, so you don't lose anything there. There's a lot of stuff here. If you have any questions, go to my blog, ask me questions there. I'm happy to answer them. Thanks.